and we haven't quite decided what to do. Aside from big decisions, I spend this week dog sitting, while Sue has a short weekend break at our annual get-together with old hockey friends. Despite lots of gardening chores, I still manage a riverside stroll with Fudge. But first, welcome to our channel. I'm Kath, this is Sue. As a retired couple, we've been living and travelling in our motorhome for over 2 years with our 2 dogs, Archie and Fudge. The weather has made the last 6 months the hardest, but summer is on its way, so why not join us? Well, good morning everyone. Now this week it's a bit of a weird one because for the first time in over 4 years, not 4 years, 2 years, what am I talking about? First time in over 2 years, Sue and I have been staying at home for the last couple of days. And that's because we're dog sitting for Dan, our son, whilst he's away on holiday. Now, the reason I'm in the van and Sue's not with me is I am driving down to South Litchett to, I think it's the Camping and Caravan Club site down there, which is our annual get-together with all our old hockey friends. Now, don't worry about Sue. Actually, the reason I'm driving down is she doesn't have a C1 on her licence. She's actually following behind me in the car, and I'm going to set the van up and leave her there for the weekend with our 2 dogs, Archie and Fudge, whilst I go back and spend the weekend at home with Lilo, which is Dan's dog. Now, we have also reached one of those forks in our life where we've got a big decision to make. But I'm not going to talk about that now. I'm going to kind of we're on the road, we're going to get to the campsite, set up, and I'll kind of cover that in a little bit later in this video. But for now, I'm just going to enjoy driving the van again. I haven't driven it for about 4 days. I always miss it. So this is it, we've arrived. And some of the gang are heading off into Poole for a little walk. Enjoy your little adventure to Poole. Well, we've arrived at South Litchett Manor into our rally field. Some of them came a couple of days early and they've just gone off for a walk to the pub. And I'm just having a sit down. I'm probably going to have a beer, 0 alcohol beer, because I'm driving, of course. And then Lilo and I'll head back off in a couple of hours' time. I'll have lunch before I go as well. But look, new hat. Good morning everyone. I'm out walking with Lilo. It's a Saturday morning, bank holiday weekend, and Sue's still down at Litchett Manor. We'll no doubt be about to start a lovely breakfast with the whole gang. Well, Lilo and I, we're just having a quiet start to the day, because next is a whole load of gardening. The disadvantages of leaving a house with a son that's even less of a gardener than we are. You come back 2 years worth of weeds haven't been tackled quite so well as we would have done. Good morning. Well, it's a change of scenery today for Lilo and I because we're walking in the woods. It's quite early in the morning. Well, I say early, it's about 8 o'clock, but it's a Sunday. But we need to crack on because I've got a trip to the dump booked for 12:30 today, and there's still loads more gardening to do. I think we're going to be gardening for the rest of the week, and then tomorrow I'm going to be picking Sue up again. But for now, I'm going to enjoy this walk. Hey, Julia, you try to help? We are home for the first time in over 2 years, and you come to crossroads in life and you've got choices to make, and we're at one of those at the moment. Now, I retired over 2 years ago, and that was what prompted our decision to set off in the motorhome. Sue retired about a year before me, and we've really enjoyed our 2 years on the road. And my son has been living in our house and are looking after it for us. But he's at the point now where he's about to buy his own house and get himself on the property ladder. And we're absolutely delighted that, he's in a position to do that. That means we've got to think about what do we do with our house. And we've got choices to make. What is the right thing to do? Because we're not ready to buy anywhere yet, and we don't really feel like we're ready to stop travelling, but that's one of the options that we've got. So we haven't yet made a decision. We've got to reflect on lots of things in our own life. One of the things that travelling for 2 years has taught us, and living in a small space, is that we definitely value freedom and the company of each other and our dogs far more than we value things, possessions. And we've pretty much got all of our things that we need in life in the motorhome. But we've definitely reached a crossroad, and we haven't quite decided what to do. So keep watching. We will keep you informed once we, weigh everything up and decide what the best thing is to do. It feels like a funny place in time. Anyway, wherever it ends, we'll take you with us. Good morning. Now this is it. I've done my run to the tip with the latest batch of garden rubbish, and I'm now going to set off to South Litchit to go and pick up Sue. I'm looking forward to seeing her and the dogs. Lilo's coming too. You all set for the journey? Just wait there for a second. There we go, we've arrived. Off to see Sue and the dogs. Hello. Hello. Hello, baby. Say ya. Have you missed me?
Yes, of course we have. What?
Oh. This is everybody saying goodbye now.
Goodbye.
Goodbye. Till next year. Till next year. Bye, Harrison. See you next year.
Bye-bye.
So long, farewell, La Vida, say goodbye. Whoop. I know,
I know,
Lilo.
Thank you for letting me use your wine glass.
Now, just in case anyone was starting to feel sorry for me for missing out on the weekend's activities, don't worry, I got to see everyone on my way there at dropping Sue off and when I was picking Sue up. But most importantly, I was invited in as the guest judge by means of modern technology to judge the most important event of the weekend. and I was delighted to award the winner, Maris von Piper, of the Maris Piper team, the award. I don't know what the award was, but I'm sure it was good. Anyway, commiserations to the other two teams. Quite frankly, very poor attempts. There was the swimmer, can't even remember its name. I do remember it was in lane 2. And there was the boat. Boaty McBoatface. Not very original. But anyway, the Olympic theme worked well, and the downhill skier won the day. Good morning. Well, it's another glorious day. It's great, isn't it? We're really going to have to make the most of this. As you've seen, got Sue back, but there's still more gardening to do. So at least the sun will be out. I can get my shorts on and enjoy the sunshine whilst hard labour continues. What are you doing, Lilo? Is that stealth mode? Hey? Is that stealth mode? Are you hiding? Or are you cooling down after that run around? Come on, let's go. Let's go then. Come on. Are you coming? Rediscovering the full width of the path. Good morning. What do you think? Garden's coming on okay, isn't it? Still lots more work to do though, but it's doing all right. Anyway, I just wanted to talk to you about this PowerAd Pro 100 watt portable charger. But first, let's rewind a few weeks. Guess what? I've been sent a little mini power bank. I don't know if that's the official term for it. I would call it a mini power bank just because of the size and the weight of it. Now, we're not a big channel, so we never get offered the big sexy things, but we do get offered quite a lot of little things to review. And I always say no because they're not things I would use. But when this came up, I jumped at the opportunity. And that's because it takes me back to the very first days when Sue and I had a motorhome and we'd go away, we were still working, so we were weekend warriors. And if we went for 2 days, then we needed a way to keep in contact with the world and charge a phone, because it wouldn't necessarily last 48 hours that we were away, or slightly longer than that potentially. We didn't have any solar panel in order to charge our batteries on the motorhome. We didn't need it, but we definitely needed to keep in contact with the rest of the world. So I thought it was one of those products that would be potentially very useful to our subscribers. And actually, it would be quite a good thing to have a backup for us as well. So I jumped at the chance, and I'm really grateful to PowerAd for sending this to us so we can put it through its paces. So, first things first, let's get it out of the box. It's very neat packaging. So there's the power bank itself. What else is in the box? A little user manual. We'll have a look at that in a minute. And a USB-C to USB-C cable. So all in all, a very, very neat little start. Now I'm going to use this to charge my phone, to charge Sue's phone. I've got camera batteries to charge. I've also got my drone. I'm going to put it through its paces and see what's possible. According to the specs for this, you can charge some laptops. Now I've got a MacBook Pro, so I know it won't charge that. But my previous laptop, which was a MacBook Air, apparently it can charge that. I'm not going to be able to test that, but I will put it through its paces and I'll tell you what I think about it. Now I've been putting this little gadget through its paces, and I've got to say I'm actually quite impressed. It's definitely better than the ones that I used to use a few years ago. So you've got the USB-C input and, is that right? Output, USB-C output. I've probably got that the wrong way around, and USB-C input and output. What that means is you can charge things and you can charge this through the USB-C. So whether it's input output, I'm not sure. As you can see, I'm not technical, which is perfect. That makes this perfect because it's really easy to use. Now, it's so small and light, I've been able to carry it in my rucksack when I've been out walking. And why would I do that? Well, you will know if you watch this channel a lot that I use OS Maps on my phone, and that means I've got that peace of mind that I've got a backup if I do lose charge on my phone, because I also use it for controlling my drone. So I'm quite a heavy user of my phone when I'm out. It just gives me that peace of mind. Incidentally, I've charged my drone battery with this as well. In fact, the first time I used it, I charged 2 iPhones, both mine and Sue's, and a drone battery all at the same time, and it coped perfectly with that. I said that I didn't think it would work with my MacBook Pro. I've tried it and it does. Now, I didn't go from 0 to 100%. I just used it to put a bit of charge into the battery and there was no problem with it at all. I'm not sure how it would cope with the whole thing. I don't think it would really, but if you just need to boost it, put a bit of charge in your battery because you're trying to upload a video or something like that. So what do I think? Would I recommend it? Yes, I would. In the days before we were full-time and I would describe us as weekend warriors, we still like to be off-grid as much as possible, but we didn't have the full solar setup as we have now, and therefore a weekend away, this would have been absolutely brilliant. We used to choose one phone that we could just put a charge in, whereas with this I know that we could cope by being away 2 or 3 days and keep both phones fully charged the whole time that we're away. So if you're interested in this, I'll put a link in the description to this video. Well, give it a go. I'm certainly going to keep it. I'm taking a break from gardening and I'm back with my old walking buddy. I know I've been walking Lilo every day. Sue's going to take Lilo for a walk this afternoon. And I'm out with Fudge and I've been missing this. Now, it's not a long one because there's still lots to do around the house. Not so much the house but the garden. It feels like it's never ending, but I suppose that's our fault for being away for such a long time. But I've got to take a break to enjoy this, and you can tell that we're down south because spring is so much further advanced. In fact, it's almost feeling like summer. The river is still incredibly high though, so it just goes to show how much water we've had. But this is lovely, isn't it? We're doing a river walk for 2 reasons. One, because it's a little bit shady here and it's a really hot day. And 2, because if we get too hot, I can just nudge Fudge into the water and she can cool off. Perfect for a hot day. If you're wondering why I've not got both Fudge and Lilo and walking both of them together, well, I have done, and we do all walk together, but we're a bit more limited on where we can walk. Problem is, Lilo is still a baby really. She's only 2. She's really boisterous and she wants to play with every other dog, whether they want to or not. And she hasn't got the first idea how big she is. So, well, I was missing walking with my walking buddy Fudge. So we're having a special treat. I can honestly say, even though we're in May, this is the highest I've ever seen this river, not even in the winter. And I've lived around these parts for about 35 years, up to the last 2 of course, and I've really never seen it. I mean, here, I'll show you, here's some steps just below me here. I'll get you right down. Completely underwater. I mean, normally you walk down those 6 or 7 steps, and this is an area where people swim. You can see it's very fast flowing in the middle. I'm so tempted, Fudge, to just give you a little shove. Got to say, it does feel quite magical standing here. See, all the trees have completely closed in over the river. It's flowing well underneath it, but there is something quite magical about it, isn't there? The water is so clear here, and it's because it's one of those chalk streams. So there's not much sediment in the water, and consequently it's very, very clear. Well, this is the end of our path. The water has breached the path there. And I could walk through it. My boots wouldn't help because it would be over the top of my boots. Well, I think we'll end this video here, and what better way to end it on a high on a beautiful riverside walk. I do hope you've enjoyed watching. It's been very different up to this point at this video, but it's real life, and I promise I'll share with you what our decisions are going to be made about our future. But we do have some travel coming up very soon. I'll be picking my son up from the airport in the next day or two, and then we're going to be heading off to an old favourite. You're going to have to come along next week to see where we get to.